Hey, so today I want to talk to you about this book, Tolerance, Man's Struggle for the Right to Think by Hendrik van Loon. Now, this book was written in 1925 and it is 100 years old. Actually, this is a 1926 copy. My original 1925 copy I gave as a gift to a dear friend. But this book is astonishing and it is probably one of the best books I've ever read. When it came out in 1925, it didn't become as popular as others of Hendrik van Loon's books, and so it later on was republished as The Liberation of Mankind to fit in with his series. He had The Arts of Mankind, The Story of Mankind, so the title was changed. But when you read the book, you realize why it didn't go around as it should have done, because the entire book, hang on, have a look at this, because it's so beautiful. It is really, it's 100 years old, and it's just a beautiful book. But the entire book has to do with the history of man's effort to rid itself of ignorance and become more competent and able and knowledgeable. So the book covers 2,500 years of history, starting with the Egyptians and the destruction of scribes who could read hieroglyphics. So those people were gotten rid of, and then for 2,000 years nobody could read hieroglyphs. And the story goes on through all the way to beginning 1900. And the essence of the book is twofold. The author demonstrates the continuous effort of people to not be ignorant, but being prevented by the same thing that we have now, the select groups, you know, the powers that be, the vested interests, who do not want others to be knowledgeable. You know, the high priest of capitalism, or the high priest of whatever system is ongoing at the time. All the knowledge wants to be kept by one select groups, while the rest does not know. And the author also discusses the extraordinary people over that period of time who gave their life really to help their fellow men and to help them become educated. So it obviously covers reading and writing, the invention of the printing press, what happened when suddenly books were available, what happened with certain bodies who tried to prevent books from being available, and the entire bootleg system that was taking place in Europe. It wasn't alcohol, it wasn't bootleg alcohol, it was bootleg books, believe it or not. And this is after the invention of the printing press. Extraordinary stories, but it boils down to that same situation that we have now. You know, the suppression of knowledge to keep people ignorant. And what is really important to note is people often forget that up until the Industrial Revolution, the population of Earth was really only around 300 to 500 million people. And then you had the Industrial Revolution, which, by the way, if you look at the timeline, you had the invention of the printing press, which then made books far more available, which means that people could finally learn, become more literate. Then you had a boom in intelligence, in invention, in sciences. If you see how it all fits in, you had more and more people who were able to read and access knowledge through books. So then you have your boom with the Industrial Revolution, you have a boom in expansion and also in population expansion. So then suddenly you get up to 1 billion individuals, and by 1950 you had about 2 billion. So you need to keep in mind that really up until very recently, population of Earth was 500 million persons. So here's a question. When suddenly you have that boom in expansion and knowledge and, inventions, the same principle of select groups who want to keep people ignorant hasn't disappeared. So the question is, how do you crush and squash people back into ignorance when you have such availability of books and knowledge? Then comes in modern psychiatry and psychology, which is a topic of my channel. There have to be ways to reduce knowledge and to make people stupid and dumb, because we have access to data, we have access to books, and somehow, ignorance is being created once again. So This book is phenomenal. Now, here's where you can get it. You can go on the Gutenberg.org, you know, the Gutenberg project, because it is 100 years old. So now it is entirely available in different format, including Kindle. You can also do like me, because I like real books. You can look online in World of Books or eBay, and you will find The Liberation of Mankind, which is the same book, or Tolerance. In the US, eBay, you have Tolerance is far more available and far cheaper. They're still quite expensive. You can get original copies for about $400. But these one on World of Books in the UK, you can get them for about £15. I have several copies because I love that book and I've given it away many times. Or you can also buy it on Kindle on Amazon.